Self-trust. What is it? It's often misunderstood. It's treated most times as a personality trait, as if you either have it or you don't. But in reality, it's the result of experience, reinforced by action and tested by decision-making over time. See, it's the small moments that matter most. It's the time an instinct shows up and gets overridden because it feels inconvenient. It's the delays that happen when someone else sounds more confident than you do. It's the choice to prioritize comfort over honesty just enough that checking in with yourself becomes less familiar. Over time, that pattern has a cost. You might feel it as hesitation. You notice decisions carrying more weight than they should, and you start looking outward for reassurance instead of inward for clarity. Eventually, it's easy to say you're stuck, when what's really happening is a breakdown in trust with your own judgment. See, self-trust isn't about certainty. It's the commitment to decide, act, and to stay present with the outcome without turning on yourself when things don't go perfectly. When you trust yourself, fear doesn't disappear, but it no longer runs the process. Doubt becomes part of growth instead of a reason to stop. I'm going to say that again. Doubt becomes part of growth instead of a reason to stop. It's the ability to tell the difference between hesitation that comes from fear and hesitation that comes from awareness. See, fear tends to push. Awareness tends to slow things down just enough to think clearly. When self-trust is weak, those signals blur together and every option feels equally risky. But when it's stronger, you can sense when to wait and when to move, even without full certainty. One of the most important shifts is understanding where self-trust actually forms. It's not built before decisions are made, it's built after. You decide, you take action, you observe what happens. Something inside you adjusts. Even when the outcome isn't what you hoped for, there's value in knowing you honored your own reasoning rather than handing responsibility over to someone else. See, that experience builds confidence in a way thinking never does. I had a mentor that once said, "Don't think, just do." Obviously, we have to put thought into actions, but when we think before we act, we oftentimes stop. There's a difference between being careful and being paralyzed. Care comes from respect for your circumstances and desire to act wisely. Paralysis comes from fear of making the wrong move and having to live with it. When fear is driving, the goal isn't clarity, it's avoiding responsibility. And avoiding responsibility doesn't protect you, it just delays progress. Self-trust doesn't guarantee comfort, but it creates coherence. See, when your actions align with your values, even difficult outcomes are easier to carry because you're not fighting yourself at the same time. That internal alignment is where momentum comes from, not force, but consistency. It's common to think confidence has to arrive before trust. But in practice, confidence shows up after you've proven to yourself that you can handle the consequences of your choices. That proof doesn't come from waiting. It comes from participation. It comes from staying engaged with your own life. Self-trust also allows flexibility. It doesn't require stubbornness. It allows you to adjust course when new information appears without framing the adjustment as failure. Changing direction isn't a lack of trust. It's evidence that you're paying attention. The real problem isn't revising a decision. It's never making one. When self-trust is present, decisions stop feeling like final judgments about who you are. They become part of an ongoing process. And that shift removes pressure. It makes progress sustainable. It allows movement without needing every answer in advance. If hesitation has been showing up lately, it's worth asking where it's coming from. It may be a lack of information, or it may be a habit of self-doubt that's been reinforced over time. Not as criticism, but as awareness. Self-trust begins to return when instincts stop being treated as obstacles and start being treated as information. It doesn't rebuild all at once, It returns through small, intentional choices. Choices you stand by. Choices you learn from. Choices that remind you that navigating uncertainty is something you're capable of doing. And that's when momentum changes. It's the moment you stop searching for the perfect decision and start making the next honest one. It's the shift from waiting to feel ready to trusting that readiness grows through action. It's not about control, it's about ownership. And when ownership becomes part of how you move through decisions, forward progress stops feeling exhausting and starts feeling possible again. Your destiny is waiting.